The following program is an accurate depiction of prison life, which some viewers may find intense.
Located beneath the shadows of the Rocky Mountains, Colorado State Penitentiary is the highest security prison in the state. It houses inmates who have demonstrated aggressive, assaultive, and violent behavior.
It's a hard time up in this place.
If you're a weak person, this ain't the place for you.
It's a game of survival in prison.
So much security, it make your head kind of trip a little bit, you know, because you would think, well, damn, what's going on right here? You know, this is worse than the zoo. The zoo, I think I like the zoo a little bit better than this. Nah, I don't feel I can do this no more.
Tony King is serving 6 years for assault and robbery.
If you're not really ready for this in no type of way, I wouldn't really advise you up in no other facility and coming over here to this because, you know, you got nothing over here. You got nothing.
All of that, it's the second one, you know? Sitting up in here, watching TV, laid up, getting back problems. You know, I feel like an old man, I'm 22, you know? Just all you can do is push-ups, you know what I'm saying? Stare in the mirror, look out the window.
Inside Colorado State Penitentiary, life is a mix of cold concrete, sterile cells, little sunlight, and plenty of free time for the 500 inmates who call this place home. Inmates are locked up 23 hours a day in 8 by 10 foot cells. Their only view of the outside world is through a window that is 6 feet high and 2 feet wide. They are allowed 1 hour a day to exercise and shower.
A lot of guys that I know, like myself, personally, I got 135 years. You know, we ain't got nothing to lose, so it don't really faze us. I mean, what can they do? Take our TV? Yeah, you know, strip our house? So what? You know, it don't mean nothing. I was convicted of Department of Corrections, COP violation for 4 counts of attempted murder and possession of dangerous contraband. It's like living in a living tomb. You know, you're slammed down for about 23 hours a day. You mind your own business, you'll be all right. You know, best thing is just to just practice avoiding unnecessary bullshit. There's a few good convicts here. I'd say out of the 500, there's about at least 120 solid convicts. The rest, worthless ass PC, snitching, ratting ass inmates, you know? You know, just like them sorry ass homosexuals, you know? That's the same thing, you know? While at CSP, you got to learn to adapt, adjust, and overcome the conditions you're in and be able to use the things that are in your house. What I do is I roll my mattress, put it in my pillowcase, and use it as a handy bag.
You know where you stand with the inmate like Baca. Okay, he's here doing his time and he's gonna be here for a long time. But at least you have an idea where you stand. Whereas you can get another inmate that's just as violent, just as tough, and just as wise as any other. And you don't know where you stand.
I was involved with a lot of cocaine and drinking, and that's what actually got me here. This is actually my second time in the system, so it's a lonely place. It's a place that keeps you confined to a cell, and it's rough. You know, you got to be, I think, mentally there, you know, mentally stable in order to handle this kind of time. A person has to be strong, because they can break you if you ain't strong.
It's a picture of my mom's right here, man. It's my mom. You know, it's all I got in here to keep me company.
I think that it takes a weak-minded person to let a place like this get to you. I don't have any problem with solitude, you know, but there's a lot of people in here that can't handle it. If you're a weak person, this ain't the place for you. I mean, mentally or physically. You can sure get in your share of trouble in here if you wanted to.
35 to 42.
Even in such a regulated environment, this Colorado prison is still a dangerous and volatile world. A world that can erupt at any moment.
We were doing a strip search, and the inmate turned and smacked me in the jaw, giving me 2 stitches on the inside, 3 on the outside. He hit me, knocked me back approximately 2 steps into a wall. I came off the wall. Myself and the other staff members present proceeded to restrain him, take him to the floor, and once we had him in full restraints, we took him out of the day hall.
You got the quarters, sir? No. Well, these guys aren't in here for doing anything nice. They're in here for assaulting staff, assaulting other inmates. So there's not a day that goes by or not a second that goes by you can be assaulted by one of these guys.
We've gotten threatened, but that's just the way of life in here.
Hey, you kind of kid, man. Hey, you better not never get locked up.
No one has ever escaped from here. The security is impressive. Officers can monitor the inmates' every move. This is the EPOD control center. Every door is opened and closed electronically from this room. If an inmate attempted to flee this pod, he would have to pass through 8 metal doors, 4 video-monitored hallways, and finally, past the heavily guarded front gate. Since the facility opened in August of 1993, this prison has been home to a flow of new and defiant inmates, ready to test its cold and sterile environment.
That guy we just put in the day hall, he just came from another facility of ours, Buena Vista. I guess the story is him and a couple of his friends had plans to kidnap a female officer, and the plan was to rape her, but they got broken up before it ever happened. Now that's why he's here at State Pen.
Can you take all the clothes off?
All inmates entering CSP are strip searched, and every item is electronically scanned for contraband.
You notice on the black and white here, there's a point end and a blunt end. So that could be either a piece of metal, which the blue is indicating, being used as a knife or some type of other device.
The first night for a new inmate here can be a frightening experience, especially in the evening, when the sounds of rage echo through the building.
How are you doing?
Who are you?
I'm the warden.
At 4 feet 11 inches tall, Donice Neal does not fit the typical stereotype of a warden that would oversee one of America's toughest lockups.
I get called a lot of names. Bitch is probably the favorite name for me. It took some getting used to. It's not the kind of environment I'm from. And the first time I got called names, I thought, geez. But it's something you just kind of stop hearing after a while.
You okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You having a good day? No complaints?
Just like any other day.
They're allowed an hour a day for exercise, recreation, showering. All of the programs here are delivered to the inmate. The inmates have shown at the other facilities that they can't control their behavior. We control it here.
Are you contemplating now, or have you attempted suicide in the last 6 months?
I don't think it's inhuman. It's a behavioral modification program more than anything else. When the inmates follow the rules, there's a way to progress out of here. We emphasize that inmates earn their way into this facility. There are ways for inmates to earn their way out, and that requires following our rules.
In the 2 years that it's been in operation, CSP has processed a total of 358 inmates through its doors. Of these 358 men, 16 have returned, a recidivism rate of only 4.4%.
The inmates who are leaving this facility don't tend to come back. We feel like if we decrease or make their behavior more positive, then we decrease the violence in the other facilities, and that's what we have shown.
I see brothers up in here, 18, got 100 years. I don't want to be like that, you know. I don't want my mom to have to come visit me behind these walls. But see, now sitting up in here, that's the only good credit I'll give to this place, is it gave me some time to do some soul searching.
This is one place I would never want to come again. I'm working on that, you know. Hopefully I don't.
Oh, I should get out of prison about 2002. It seems like it's not really worth doing anything if you got to go through this here.
I have no one to blame except myself. You know, I made the choices, I took the risks, and you know, it's like you said, you know, if you're gonna do the crime, you got to be man enough to do the time. So here I am.
China's prison system has had a notorious reputation for brutality and punishment. This video was taken from inside China's oldest prison, Shanghai number 5. Since the 1980s, prison officials in the country have taken a number of major steps to change its image. Recently, our investigative reports producers were invited by these officials to visit one of China's newest maximum security prisons, an opportunity few Westerners have ever had. It should be noted the Chinese imposed major restrictions on our production. Certain areas were off limits to our cameras. Some questions were not permitted, as authorities made attempts to censor. Nonetheless, what you are about to see is a rare and sterile look at life behind the walls of one of China's prisons. Shanghai, home to 12 million people. As China cracks open its doors to capitalism, many have migrated to this city in search of work. While the economy is growing, so is the country's criminal element. It's 6 a.m. at Qingpu Maximum Security Prison. Inmates shuffle across the gravel track as part of their morning exercise routine. Structure, discipline, and order are all enforced by the correctional officers. Raising the flag and observing the national anthem each morning is part of China's rigid prison program. Qingpu Prison opened in 1995. It is home to all inmates with sentences longer than 10 years. In Chinese terms, these men are in for economic swindling, hooliganism, bribery. Life in China's prisons is harsh by Western standards, and so is the punishment. Larceny, 12 years. Theft, 10 years. Embezzlement, 12 years. Security measures are minimal. While there is a 10,000-volt electric fence, the correctional officers carry no weapons. According to officials, no one has ever attempted to escape from this facility. 12 men call this small cell home. Unlike the overcrowded and appalling conditions of Russian prisons, Chinese inmates function efficiently in these close quarters. Individual expression is frowned upon. No posters or family photos are allowed on the walls. Instead, collective harmony, especially between the inmates and the officers, is stressed. The Chinese corrections model is based on a concept known as reform through labor. It is designed to influence personality and teach the prisoners discipline, positive work habits, and moral responsibility. All the inmates work 8 hours a day. These men are mowing the prison lawn. Hoi Sir is serving 10.5 years for bribery. Making boxes is his reform through labor.
So long as I have violated the law, I must be punished. I live quite happily here in prison. Our guards are very concerned about us.
Every hour of every day, a prisoner's schedule is carefully planned. At precisely noon, these inmates prepare lunch for the entire facility.
This is the menu, as you can see. And these are the ingredients, how much we put in the food. And this chart gives us an analysis of the nourishment for the inmates.
After lunch, inmates are allowed time for rest and interaction. Contact with the outside world is controlled and limited. Family visits are scheduled once a month. All conversations are monitored closely. Inmates exhibiting good behavior are rewarded with private family visits.
He often tells us how concern he receives from his police officer, and he spends pleasant time here.
Zheng Tianming is the warden of Qing Pew.
We believe that a human being can be reformed. The recidivism rate is very low after the criminals are released from Chinese prisons. The rate in Shanghai is only 4%.
This is a parole hearing for 6 inmates who are about to get their sentences reduced due to good behavior. A panel of judges weighs the information supplied by prison officials and then issues a verdict.
When I was standing there, I felt very, very excited and happy because I had my sentence reduced by 1 year and 8 months.
This inmate has completed his sentence and leaves a free man.
I don't hope that those who are released from this prison will come back again. I don't want to say to those just released from prison, see you again.